Welcome back to another weekly GMBN Tech show. Coming up on the show this week,
we have some welterweight carbon axles.
There's an exciting Marzocchi Z1 coil conversion,
a prototype downhill bike from Gamux,
and some sightings of a 29 Ascender possibly. Straight into news, and first up is that new Marzocchi Z1 Bomber, in particular the coil sprung version, which is also available as a coil upgrade kit if you've already got the air sprung version. Coil springs, we all know about this, we all know how good they are, but how limited they can be in other situations. But Marzocchi are kind of addressing this in making it compatible, reverse compatible in fact, with the fork that's already available on the market. Now the Marzocchi Z1 Bomber became famous in the mid-90s. It was a 4-inch travel fork, open oil bath design, and it was simply phenomenal at the time. Twin coil sprung operation. And it was the first time I think anyone has seen a suspension fork you could buy that wasn't a tuned fork. You could visibly see it moving over bumps.
Yeah.
It was insane. It's taken a long time actually. They've been here and away for a while over the years, and thankfully they're back now. And they're actually manufactured by the same people that manufacture Fox suspension forks. There's a lot of the good traits with the design qualities of that. This is them on the screen. The fork in coil iteration retails for 779 quid in the UK. And the coil sprung conversion kit is 155 quid, or just the coil springs at 55 quid. Now, a few cool things about these are they have a 125-hour service interval, which is including the lower legs, so that's pretty good, straight out. Now, they've got air assist on them, so you can increase the progressiveness or the ramp up, basically, for bottom out on there. And the springs on them, they're tempered silicon chromium steel springs, but they've actually got a coating on the outside so they don't rattle around on the inside of the fork legs too much, which always used to be a thing.
Yeah, because I was going to say, often when you've had a coil fork, it's hard to go back to air because it scars the inside of the tube.
That's a very good point.
Then makes it really hard to get an air seal. So maybe, because I was going to ask you this, maybe it is the fact they're treated in this way, which then protects the inner tube.
Yeah, you can see on the images, it looks like it's got a sleeve over the top part, which is the bit where they bind basically and rub on the inside, just like Henry was saying actually. I didn't think about that, that's a really good shout. Yeah, I think it might be on there.
Interestingly enough, if you, not so much now World Cup downhill bikes predominantly have air, but a couple of years ago when people were still using coil, you'd often hear every now and then a really, really, really loud bike come past that just sounded like blood and thunder. And what often it was, is they'd taken the heat shrink off the coil to reduce a bit of binding. But it would absolutely cause a racket and rattle around and scar up the inside. So it'd be interesting to see if they've, treating it in this way is another way to get around that as well.
Yeah, I think it sounds really good, and I definitely want to have a go on these. A coil fork in this day and age, it's been a long time since I've ridden one. Done coil shocks, but the fork as well. Exciting stuff. So it's a 36mm chassis. They're available in 29 and 27.5. They come in 150 in 29 and 160, 170, 180 in 27.5. So 15mm QR axle, and it's got the grip damper on them. Also on the 27.5, the rake is 37mm, and on the 29 is 44 and 51.
Cool. I mean, a couple of questions. It's a 36mm chassis.
Yep.
Does that mean it is cross-compatible with Fox?
No.
Right,
so this is where they're drawing a clear division, basically, between what is Fox and what is Marzocchi, clearly. So in this case, certainly there is no coil conversion kit that is manufactured by Marzocchi that will suit a Fox fork. So unfortunately you can't.
Right.
But Marzocchi are offering it, and it's right here, and it's really good for the money.
Yeah,
so
super cool.
That might be the option if you want a coil fork of that sort of travel.
So next up in the news, well, there's kind of been rumourings and talk and whispers of a Sender 29, a Canyon Sender 29. So last year we saw the Sender, well, in mullet guises, so the 29 on the front, and we also saw a bit of higgery-jiggery, bit of jiggery-pokery, with 29 on the back under Mark Wallace.
We did, yeah.
But this could be a production version. So in the silly season, there is a new kind of team emerging, a new Canyon supported team with the Seagraves. Now with Tani in the wind tunnel, there seems to be some kind of spy shots floating around.
That's right.
Could be a 29er downhill bike from Canyon.
There's been quite a lot floating around on Instagram. Yeah, I think so. The Seagraves mechanic, Jake Scoyens, he had an Instagram story actually, and I'm almost certain this is a 29. Can't be sure because you can't actually see it. And in videos of her riding, if you freeze frame it, it looks like a Fox 49 fork on there to me.
Yeah.
So pretty interesting stuff actually.
Yeah.
I mean, it's about time that they had the 29er downhill bike. It's a good bike by all accounts, but it could be even quicker.
It's going to be very, very interesting. Also, speaking of new downhill bikes, Gamux
yeah.
I don't know quite how to, I'm pretty sure it's Gamex.
So they're the guys that do the 3D manufacture, or 3D printed spaces and stuff. Yeah.
Yep. And they have come out, well, with the beginnings of potentially a new journey into frame design. There's an Italian brand called MDE who make bikes like the Damper, I believe. Been going around for a couple of years and make some really, really nice bikes. So Gamex have basically stepped in with MDE, and MDE are manufacturing at least their prototype in Italy, which looks like a pretty cool, kind of quite aggressive downhill bike. Not too many details, it's thin on the ground, but the shots look, well, it looks kind of quite raw and certainly rugged.
Yeah,
I think it looks really cool. It looks like it just eat things alive.
It does. So is this the one, am I thinking, is the one that's got the split and seat tube?
Yes.
Yeah, so I really like the look of that.
Yeah.
It's a nice bit of kit, that.
Now, something I spotted this week, and it's from a company who I have to confess I'm not that familiar with, Ceetec out of Switzerland, and they make some exquisitely light and beautiful carbon bike parts. The thing that originally caught my eye was a carbon rear axle, which seems...
Literally a rear axle for the wheel, yeah?
Yeah. It seems not the place that people would normally be going for carbon, but these guys seem to be obsessed with making things as light as possible. Also on their website are some 29-inch wheels coming in at 1,300 grams, and chain devices, and this blew my mind, chain devices from as little as 8 grams.
8 grams?
8 grams!
That's ridiculous.
Imagine having 8 millilitres of more water in your bottle.
That's like no reason to not run chain guide, is it?
I mean, it blew my mind.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So is that, I'm guessing that must be like an XCO spec chain guide?
Yeah.
Bare minimum, just for the race guys that ride a bit harder. Wow, that's cool. And those wheels, what, 1,300 grams?
1,300. So they do,
that's nothing, that's so light.
They do one that comes in, I think it's a slightly narrow one that's under 13, and they do one that's 27 mil internal, so quite wide.
So what's the narrow one, but 24 maybe?
Yeah, I think it's about that, yeah.
It's kind of fairly acceptable still, isn't it?
Yeah, and they do saddles that come in just over 100 grams.
Yeah, wow. Okay.
I mean, it's really light. Apparently, rumour has it that a lot of cross-country World Cup teams run their stuff, but maybe just a bit of the old
under the bonnet
paint.
sort of thing?
Yeah,
I get it. I've seen a lot of that stuff.
Mr. Marker Pen comes out for a play.
Yeah.
And yeah, I just think it looks really cool. Quite nerdy, very niche, but definitely cool.
I think we should try and build, just for a laugh, the most expensive bike, which would just have some ridiculous stuff in it. And maybe we should try and build the lightest bike.
The lightest
I know there's a
bike.
few out there, but I think we should maybe do the lightest unmodified bike.
Okay.
Because Danger Home and other people, you know, take all the paint off and go excessive. I think it'd be nice to do like a production one, what you can actually do with stuff like that. Be pretty cool, I reckon. You'd go super light.
Yeah, would you want to, how hard would you want to ride a bike like that though?
It depends if it ends up in a hardtail or whatever. I'd like to think like a full suspension cross-country bike and see how light you can go. Make it a real bike.
Yeah.
Not that hardtail's not a real bike, but you know what I mean. You
No,
know,
I
like
know.
a realistic bike that you're trying to drop down. I think that's a good little challenge we should try and do.
It's very exciting.
Let's try and do that over the year.
Yes.
See what we can get down to. It'd be cool. And next up, just a cool tool actually. This is from Lazine. They make some really nice little manufactured tools. On the screen now you can see this one. It's absolutely tiny, weighs just 79 grams. And it's actually, they do a cool ratchet system as well, which is a little bit similar to ones that we've seen already from Topeak and from other companies. It's just a really nice little bit of kit. I actually saw quite a lot of their stuff at Eurobike and I was amazed at the quality of this stuff in the flesh. It's so nice to handle. And well, we like tools really, don't we? So of course we're going to talk about some tools here on Tech.
It is really nice. I mean, that pump, it's barely longer than a CO2 cartridge, a 25 gram one. I mean, it's really,
minuscule.
really small. I imagine it kind of suits that person that has, you know, an open plan living room and drives a Saab. Like, you know, really
Do
just...
people still drive Saabs?
Actually, I think Saab have gone out the window, but you know what I mean.
I'd have a Saab actually.
I'd have
like
a Saab, just real for taste. Now it is time for Bike Cave. Now this is one of our favourite sections because we get to show off the stuff that you send us in. So if maybe you're watching any Bike Cave right now, get on the uploaded link below, send us in your photos, maybe with a bit of an explanation, and hopefully we can feature on the show. Let's go into it.
Yeah, kicking off this week. The first one's from John in Ohio. After having my 2015 Max 6 stolen, I guess you mean a pivot, gutted for you, I've relocated my bikes to the basement and I've made a sports theme bike cave. Nice secure place down there, I guess, yeah. My 2019 Grey Max 6 and 1998 Trek Y33 match my favourite American football team colours. Get it, like the whole black and grey thing going on there. That looks like a bit of a Neil Donahue opening a bottle of beer there. Wasting beer. He's such a waste of that, man.
I think you'll be pleased to know, I believe it was non-alcoholic beer.
That's it? Good for that, yeah.
John,
equally, what's the point? But
see, I can imagine John liking Lazine and Saabs. You can tell by
it's
this,
clean.
everything is very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice. Look at that like sofa couch thing. That's a man of taste.
Very minimal. Looking down the front here, I know it's not a mountain bike, but it's kind of nice. 1983 Lejeune road bike. It was the first bicycle I purchased in America after moving here from Oxford at age 10. Haven't been back to the UK in 40 years, but watching GMBN makes me feel like I'm back home again.
Is it all the bad teeth?
Gosh.
I was talking about myself.
I mean, I've got some big teeth, but
Sorry. Let's move on.
more grey there.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah, no, it looks nice. Real nice setup there. I like the pool table as well, matching the carpet. And obviously, nice, secure, and safe place. Super important to look after your toys, isn't it? But yeah, sorry to hear you had your old bike nicked.
Yeah, it sucks.
But thanks for watching our stuff. And obviously, we're having some sort of effect because you're still watching and you're contacting us. All good. Next up from Zach in California, Humboldt County, CA. I guess that's California. If not, I've got it wrong and I'm sorry. My partner and I live in a small 800 square foot apartment. 2 of our bikes are in the closet corner attached with plug wall holders. They work fairly well. We've made storage boxes underneath. On a rainy day ride, I discovered I could hang my wet and muddy shoes on the bike pump hook to dry.
Lovely.
That is a good use actually.
Yeah, pretty good.
Nice, there's that satellite dish out the back, your bike hanging off it. That's a good
So good.
hack. Yeah.
Yes, I love that stuff.
That's a genuinely good hack. And you've got your tap right by it. That couldn't be better, actually, to be fair.
That
Nice
is right off the top drawer.
Yeah.
I really like that.
Couple of nice bikes going on there as well. Always good to see. And a little trail cat too. We love trail cats.
Now we have one from, I believe it's pronounced, I'm sorry if I get this wrong, is it Diwa? I'm going to go for, sorry if I got it wrong. But what a bike cave this is. So in Sweden, the woods of Sweden, which sounds pretty exciting, and he says, I had my chance now under the winter season when the winter shed doesn't have any function to make my own happy place. And you've done a fine job of it. It's so light and breezy. It's super nice.
And it's very Swedish looking in the bare wood.
Yeah.
Almost like a sauna, in fact.
Nice little vice.
I like the vice. I like the mat on the workbench there as well. To avoid
Yeah.
your bench getting all stained.
Nice. Really, really. I
Got
like
some
that.
minimal power tools on the back here. It's looking good. Looks like some CCTV in the corner there as well. So you can either that or it's like a baby cam for your bike, so you can look at it longingly while you're in bed. Maybe not. Maybe I'm the only one that does that. Oh, Milwaukee tools.
Look at the tyres. He's got those studded winter tyres.
Oh wow,
Sick.
genuine. I've never actually needed or even ridden a set of those. Quite keen to try some studded
Yeah,
tyres.
really cool.
Actually, back in the day, I remember people used to make their own studded tyres by literally screwing nuts and bolts through tyres. You're like, well, if you fall off that bike, you're so done. You have to put a mudguard on the rear, haven't you?
I think of that because people used to do it in the Mega Avalanche.
Yeah.
But I thought, well, that's all right for you. What if you run over someone else, which happens quite a lot, and you've got loads of like, wood screws sticking out the tyre trim.
Gnarly race. Yeah, yeah, crazy. Yeah, really nice to see what you've done with the space. It's a tiny little space, but you used it really well. All about efficiency. Hanging the bikes up and out of the way there, so you've got the floor space. A big stack of tyres. I'm guessing that might be his summer tyres for his car, judging by the tyres on the bike. You've got your winter tyres on. Always a good idea. Never sure why it didn't really catch on in sort of other areas. I've got a few friends that use winter tyres. They just swap them for the summer ones at certain times of the year. But
I think British people, we secretly like to pretend the roads are the most hazardous place in the world in winter. We love it when there's a bit of snow. We're like, oh, we can't drive. And really, it's like, there is a way.
yeah, but you've got to remember that our country runs on sort of lies like this. You know,
Yeah,
the wrong type of snow and the wrong type of leaves on the train tracks. Oh, the trains don't work, there's leaves on the line.
But we love it. I think we kind of enjoy the melodrama. I can't come to work. Like, it's only a mile, can you walk? It's like a blizzard. And it's like 5 degrees.
Yeah, it's just a dotted line there in the middle and again sledging. Can't make it in. I quite like these on the wall, these sort of like...
Oh, nice sketch drawings.
Yeah, let's have a look a bit closer detail. They're quite arty, I like those. They look like patent drawings. It looks like a pair of those Maverick forks actually, from the old Maverick bike days. So pretty cool. That's all for you guys, but I actually spotted a really cool, Matt Jones has put a picture up of his new bike cave on Instagram. You've got to see this. There's a shot of it here. I'm sure Matt won't mind us using it. Matt, where's the invite, dude? Like, we need to come and check your bike cave out and check out all your toys, because we know you've got some four-wheel toys in there as well that are worth a good look. But it's pretty sick, isn't it?
It's pretty nice.
He's got his Red Bull fridge down there. He's got his old frames hanging up, his Red Bull helmets. It looks mega.
It does look very, very, very cool.
And a very cool dude as well, by all accounts. All right, now it's time for Top Mods. This is about the modifications that you guys make to your bikes. Anything counts. It could be a new chain, it could be a whole new paint job, whatever it is that makes your bike different to the rest. Send them in, there's a link right there. Take some pictures, or better still, take a little video on your phone. Tell us all about yourselves and about your bike. If you do a video, try and make no background music be present if possible. Yep. Makes it a bit easier for us to use. But first up this week, we're checking out Paul's Gorilla Gravity hardtail. So we've talked about them quite a lot and I've seen them at shows, but I've never actually seen one in the wild. So it feels quite rare actually to see one of these. He's on the Rocky Mountain Trail and he's inspired by Blake's hardtail escapades to build an aggressive all-mountain hardtail. So that's quite cool.
Yeah.
He's also discovered Paul's components and got a bit carried away because his name is Paul. Yeah, that's a dangerous road to go down. It's not cheap stuff. Really nice though. The wheels and most of my drivetrain was robbed off my full suspension bike, which got a bunch of upgrades. Now I think the purple is really cool against the glow-in-the-night yellow, and the tan walls really finish off the look. I agree. I think your bike looks mega, mate. It looks really cool. I would possibly, if you wanted to go a little bit more aggro, put a lower chain guide on there, maybe like a taco style thing, just to protect that ring on there. I know that Blake had one on his bike, and well, to be fair, he needed it in the mega sort of rock and stuff. Yeah. But it looks really nice.
There's MRP forks as well, pretty interesting.
Yeah, they're doing some really good stuff. You know, they're all handmade as well.
Oh, are they?
Which is nice. Yeah, it was hand assembled, like got a hand production line.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's really cool. Yeah, it looks good. Into that.
Yeah, the Gorilla Gravity are kicking out some cool stuff.
Yeah.
It took me a while to realise it wasn't Gorilla like the monkey, it was
right.
the warfare.
Yeah.
You know? I just thought they
It's an obscure name, isn't it?
Yeah, it is a bit
the other
obscure.
day, the Gorilla Gravity, but it seems to work and they make great bikes. Yeah, nice work. Still room for hardtails and cool pictures as well, actually.
Yeah, no, really nice.
Yeah, showing your bike off nicely.
What we got here from Stephen with his Trek Remedy and Ragley Marley. In Manchester, he just says he thought he'd share some recent mods. He made a bumpy chainstay protector from some rubber mastic tape, which is pretty cool, kind of all the trend, everyone seems to be giving it a go.
Yeah,
and
it works.
It does work, yeah, can keep your bike silent. And what is really cool, and the thing I like most, is actually the mods he's done to his helmet.
Yeah.
Which are very subtle, give a bit of extra grip. Sometimes the lenses can rattle on your visor to silence that and maybe help it grip there as well. And it took us a while to see what was going on because it's that subtle. Yeah, so I'm familiar with people putting their goggles there, you know, putting a peak up. I've never seen someone put glasses under there, so I guess you wanted to do that and found a problem with it. But yeah, you're right, it's real neat the way its rubber goes around the vents there. Yeah, and then it's really, really cool. Almost looks like it was designed with that in mind.
Yes, to be fair, doing it with glasses is, they should have that on them as standard, I reckon.
Yeah, totally.
I think you're onto something there. Yeah, it looks great. Really subtle.
Yeah.
Like, good use of the space there. I put my glasses in the vents at the rear of the helmet, but the problem is on some hills they fog up because of the heat at the back. So I reckon actually at the front there's a good shout. Yeah. I reckon that's something we should look into hacking ourselves.
I used to have a Giro helmet that used to take them really nicely, had the ports.
Yeah.
I think because
it's like above peak or below peak.
It would above peak.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then my Met one you could go below.
Yeah.
This, I'm finding my POC one, because of the shape of my head, it foused a bit on the old skull and the old cranium. Yeah. So I need to find a better way to do it.
Yeah, maybe I'm fluky because my head's skinny at the back and just slide them straight in. Yeah. Yeah, it works great, but like I say, in the warmer conditions, they do mist up a bit and you have to give them a wipe. But yeah, all good. Some good top mods there. Keep those modifications coming and we'll see you next week.
Now it is time for Rewind. So this is the segment where we take a dip back in time to see what was going on. Sometimes, such as today, we have some really nicely refurbished bikes. So Doddy, what have we got?
First up, I'm pleased to say this is Cannondale Super V. Always wanted one of these in the early days. Of course, your one doesn't look quite stock. It's got a Marzocchi fork on the front there. The version of this I wanted had the head shock fork on it, which I suspect this might have had back in the day, but it's got a carbon rear end on it. So this is from Cathal, by the way, in Dublin. Guys, loving the show. I'm 35, but when I was a kid, I was obsessed with the Zascar bikes. So we had this Super V 500, which we're looking at here, basically got a Zascar and then stripped down the Super V to hang it up on the wall in order to build the Zascar.
Nice.
But I've got to say, the Super V is a cool bit of kit, and it was so simple. Literally a cantilever swing arm there.
Oh yeah. It's, what is that, a reconstituted house brick on the front, is it?
so that there, the ironically named the Zonic Shorty stem, the first one of those that came out was 75mm long.
Oh wow.
Which was short. That was like a slalom length stem back in the day.
And is that a 1.5 head tube?
Do you know what? I don't know if it's a 1.5 or it's even bigger because that housed the headshot unit.
I was going to say, 'cause
it's really big, yeah. I don't know what the actual size of those was, but you did basically aftermarket cups, so you could fit a regular headset on there.
That's pretty sweet.
Yeah, and they just pressed in just like a regular headset where you can see where it's sort of down sizes.
The crown does look a bit smaller, right?
Yeah. But yeah, classic Marzocchi Z2 fork on there, the high-rise Sonic bar, quite iconic back in the day. Hope hubs. Some great stuff on there. And in fact, if you look on the back of the frame, it even says Missy Giove, world downhill champ. So she used to ride those frames.
It's a cool looking bike though.
Look how tiny the little Fox shock is. I wonder what stroke that is. Can't quite see it on there, but
it's not much.
It's not much at all, is it? That thing would have got hot, that's for sure. But yeah, wicked to see. And the Zaska, iconic looking bike, and nice to see you strip all your stuff down yourself as well. It looks like it's in good condition, or you've spent a lot of time cleaning that. Yeah, look at that frame.
Look at that.
I used to love that original ball burnished finish. A friend of mine had like a blue anodized one. It was like, yeah, it's nice, but it's not the ball burnished. You've got to have the mirror finish on that. Something about them that just look really cool.
I was thinking about hopefully getting a Scout at some point.
Yeah.
I was thinking about asking Mr. Nuproof very nicely if they wouldn't awfully mind if I polished it down.
Oh, mate, do that. Do that.
It's like a little project for the channel.
If Rob's watching, Rob, you should let Henry do that. That'd be really cool.
Yeah, I'm trying to find my moment.
See what he says. I think he likes coffee and cakes.
Oh, noted, noted. Yeah. Just send him in a box, he gets it, it's like 2-week-old coffee and cakes smashed around by the Royal Mail. Cheers, mate.
It's the thought that counts. Yeah. They'll probably live in the back garden anyway. Classic grip shift ESPs on there. Quite funny to see, that was the original, basically the original grip shift. The very early ones had such a throw on them to change gear. You'd literally have to go like that and like roll your wrist all the way forwards. And people wonder why they didn't like them. And I think Neil still doesn't like grip shift, although today's grip shift are insanely good.
Yes.
And you don't rest your hands on it the whole time, you move in to change gear. But they're so good, and all the XC racers seem to love them because they don't weigh anything.
Yeah.
So there's no real moving parts, it's just the barrel that twists. So that's something that would probably have to go on our lightweight bike. I'd want to cut the barrel down there, make it a bit shorter. Literally just have the minimum possible.
Yeah.
Probably do some sort of customization on there. And last up is from Philip in North Lincolnshire. Specialised rock copper A1. I recently bought a pair of Bomber Z1 forks for my 96 Specialised. So there you go. That's the original fork that we were talking about in news earlier. Of course, we were talking about the latest version, but that is the one. That's the bad boy. So there was, they had steel coil springs, twin oil baths on them. I think they even had double dismounts on those early ones. Yeah, dismount on both sides.
Wow.
And as far as I know, the only brake you could fit with dual discs then was the Cullymore engineering one, which was a massive overkill. Obviously, on a bike of that era, you didn't need dual disc brakes.
Probably not.
But it was really cool.
Pretty cool.
And they worked really well. They were really hard to bleed, from what I remember. And like they were inconsistent because of that. But if you got them bled well, it was like ridiculous with a big double disc.
I wonder, going back, Coil Forks, Coil IFPs, all this sort of stuff, it's all going round in a big loop. Will we see dual-sided disc brakes again?
I think maybe we will. Especially on the heavier duty bikes, the downhill bikes, the e-bikes, and things like that. I think there could be mileage in it there.
We were doing when I was working on the races, we were doing some testing, seeing how, the size of rotor we could go to.
Yeah.
And it was actually, Mick Hanna was incredibly sensitive to twist in the caliper once we get the adapters bigger.
That's interesting, yeah.
And he was saying that actually that was the thing, 'cause we were running those very powerful trick stuff brakes.
Yeah.
And the combination was just almost too much because it would actually distort and twist the metal. So that could be the avenue that it goes down.
So that's really interesting. I'd love to know a bit. There's a handful of races, I'm sure, that tuned in, and then Minar's one as well that has weird feelings for stuff on the bike. I'd love to know little things like that you've just said, that the racers can feel that no one else can feel. Like, that's bonkers. So he could feel the flex of the caliper.
Yeah.
So he'd want a smaller disc.
He'd want a smaller disc.
That's crazy.
That was the reason we stayed away. But so much, the way he'd quantify stuff was always really interesting, doing testing with him. Because he'd literally be like, can I get half or a quarter turn less? And it'd be like, he wouldn't, or you could do it and he would be like, did you take a bit of tension at my wheels? He was that in tune with man and machine.
That's well impressive.
Yeah.
I'd love to sort of get hold of someone like a Mick and do like some blind testing, just like for own interest. I'd love to know what he could figure out. That's mega cool. And last up in Rewind is actually something I spotted on Instagram. So this is on the GT Retro Tech Shop page. It looks like a classic Zaskar layout, but this is a bike I'd never even seen before. I didn't even know this thing existed. It's basically a full suspension of Zaskar, it looks like. So it's got some sort of concentric pivot around the BB. It's got seat stay link. still retaining that triple triangle sort of thing. But you look a bit closer and it's got a couple other cool things. You see that groove on the underside of the down tube.
Oh yeah.
Top tube even. So it was known as a groove tube. I'd forgotten it existed, but this was one of the early looks at doing internal cable routing. And so GT would do that. So it just had like basically a dimple almost running
Same
down
as their
the
current
groove.
GTs.
Yeah.
They've done the down tube now.
Yeah, but kind of gone full circle. So they've already done that before, and everyone went to internal routing.
Yeah.
But now they want to go external, we'll make it look internal, so you got the benefits of both. And it's kind of funny as goes around, comes around, just like you were saying with the coil spring stuff. But incredibly rare bike. Literally never seen one of these bonkers looking thing. I'm going to try and do something with GT Retro Tech Shop soon because they've got some stuff that, from what I can make out, has never seen daylight before. Just some really interesting old prototypes. So we'll go and visit them soon to be a bit of a collector's piece, I think. Oh, well, there we go. There's another weekly GMBN Tech show in the bag. What are you going to throw to this week, Henry?
I'm going to suggest actually the exposure tour that you did again.
Oh, nice.
Which was really, really cool, and it's definitely worth watching. So click down there for that one.
It's good for some info on lights, especially this time of year. I'm going to throw to your seat angle theory video, actually.
Oh, cool, yeah.
Down here, yeah. So that one went up at the weekend. Check that one out. Tells you a little bit about the angles of your seat and where you put your seat position, what it does on your bike. As always, give us a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already done it, and give us some love in the comments. Cheers, guys.
Thank you.